Anikinuia, Mnogijigat. It's a great day outside. Kichawasan Angloskwe Indigenous, Nikikando Dem, Nipsing and Donjaba. My name is Amy Commanda and I work at Indigenous Student Affairs, and I was asked to honor the graduates today with a song. So I'm going to do that. I also want to offer congratulations to all the students and to say that how proud many of us are of all the accomplishments that you've done, especially during this difficult time. And that today I wanted to remind you all that you all have a medicine inside of yourselves to share with the world. And now that you've graduated, you get to continue on your journey and sharing that medicine with others. And it's really important that we all come together now and share our voices and share our medicine, come together and connect and strengthen our bonds in our community, in our families, and globally. So today I'm going to share a little bit of my medicine and share this Minadomakwa Spirit Bear song with you all. Miigwech.
Graduates, family and friends, faculty and staff. Hello, bonjour, ani, bonjour, kwekwe wache. My name is Robert Hache, and it is my privilege to be the President and Vice Chancellor of Laurentian University. I would like to acknowledge the Robinson-Huron Treaty of 1850. We also further recognize that Laurentian University is located on the traditional lands of the Atikameksheng Anishinaabeg, and that the city of Greater Sudbury also includes the traditional lands of the Wahnapitae First Nation. Graduates, today we celebrate you. You've made it. Congratulations to you all. I know that this may not be the format or the circumstance that any of you may have envisioned for your convocation, but I assure you that your hard work and dedication needs to be acknowledged and celebrated. Notre mode de vie a certainement changé au cours de ces derniers mois, mais je suis tellement content de voir, malgré tous les changements dans nos vies en salle de classe et nos vies chez nous, que vous avez tous réussi à franchir cette étape dans votre trajet universitaire. Think back to when you started your programs. Remember the anticipation, the uncertainty, the excitement. The last few weeks have likely been filled with similar and perhaps even stronger emotions as the entire world grapples with COVID-19. Uncertainty for what is to come, anticipation for the world to return to normal, or a new normal. But I hope for all of you, also a level of excitement at the opportunities that will come to you in the near future. Even though we live in a time that is unprecedented, it is important to feel optimistic about the future. You have been preparing for your journey towards the future for some time now, and your resilience to withstand life's adversities will carry you forward. But before going further, let's take a minute to reflect on your time here at Laurentian. Over the past several years, you have lived the experience of being a student, you have juggled assignments and priorities, you have encountered new experiences and developed new relationships. You have successfully navigated the complex world of higher education and academia, courses, syllabi, experiential learning opportunities, requisites and prerequisites, papers and exams. Professors have encouraged you to think broadly and then to apply the solutions you develop to tangible benefit. They've encouraged you to network and engage with those around you, to develop relationships and to broaden your worldview. And most importantly, your family has seen you grow and your friends have watched you transform into the person that is now readier than ever to take on the next challenge, the next step in your career. Il y a une raison pour laquelle la Laurentienne est depuis une décennie le chef de file en ce qui concerne les taux d'emploi de nos diplômés. C'est parce que nos partenariats avec l'industrie, notre engagement envers l'apprentissage intégré au travail et nos classes de petite taille mettent notre population étudiante en bonne position pour acquérir les compétences très précises que les employeurs recherchent. Vous avez établi avec la communauté de la Laurentienne des relations qui dureront toutes vos vies. Vous faites maintenant partie du tissu de cet établissement. Lorsqu'on vous interrogera sur votre grade de premier cycle ou de cycle supérieur à la Laurentienne, vous pourrez affirmer que vos études vous ont préparé pour l'avenir. Coming out of this pandemic, our world will be a very different place. Our nation, our province, and our community has had to come together in a way that has not been experienced since the Second World War. Together, we are traversing a challenge that affects all people, regardless of gender, race, or socioeconomic background. It is my belief that we will all come out of this challenge stronger, together, with a sense of unity. Together, we have protected those at highest risk by making sacrifices. We stayed home when we wanted to be with loved ones. We celebrated milestone events, such as birthdays, anniversaries, and even graduations over Zoom and FaceTime. And together, we've been able to save lives. In your final year of studies, you've had to pivot from your routine. You may have had to press pause on your plans for the immediate future. You, Laurentian graduates of 2020, are faced with entering the next phase of your lives, just as the entire world has taken a collective pause, which could be a good thing. This is not a race. We are not competing against each other to make it to some fictitious finish line. In a lifetime filled with milestones and benchmarks, we as a society have more often given precedent to the fast and furious achievements, having largely turned away from the notion of slow and steady. Here and now, through circumstances beyond your control, you can take a moment to establish and reaffirm your goals and how you wish to accomplish them. Taking the time to do this is okay, and indeed must be encouraged. When our new normal emerges, my hope is that you will join a workforce with a heightened sense of empathy for one another, because you are now part of a generation that has witnessed what it means to put the needs of others before yourselves. Vous devez maintenant penser à la prochaine étape de votre cheminement. Où travaillerez-vous? Où allez-vous étudier davantage? Où vivrez-vous? Vous n'avez jamais eu autant de possibilités à la portée de la main. Profitez du moment. Soyez courageux et confiants en progressant dans votre carrière et sachez que No matter how far your journey takes you, whether you build your futures in Australia, China, or Chelmsford, you will always have a home and a family here at Laurentian University. Au nom de l'université, je vous félicite et je vous souhaite beaucoup de succès. Thank you, merci, miigwech.
Chers diplômés de la Faculté d'Éducation, dear Faculty of Education graduates, quelle année mouvementée. This has been quite a year. Au début de l'année, on a vécu des défis au sujet du test de mathématiques, ensuite les grèves de zèle et finalement la COVID-19. We have had the math test, then we had labor unrest in the sector, and now COVID-19. Parmi toutes ces expériences, ce qui me donne de l'espoir, c'est qu'au lieu de voir ces choses comme des barrières ou des défis, vous avez plutôt relevé le défi. I see all of these challenges not as roadblocks to your success, but actually as contributing to your success. You have developed over the course of this year resilience. Et c'est cette résilience que vous avez pu développer qui me donne de l'espoir. I am optimistic about your futures because you are well on your way to being successful professional educators. You have developed what it takes many years to develop. Vous avez fait preuve de la résilience. I encourage you to carry this resilience forward with you. Soyez confiante que vous avez maintenant l'outil essentiel pour avoir du succès dans la salle de classe. Through this resilience, we have optimism. Je pense que vous êtes maintenant bien préparés. Votre formation initiale vous a lancé ces défis et vous avez fait preuve de succès. I wish you, through your resilience, much success as you move forward in your career in education. À tous et toutes, je souhaite bonne chance et bonne route.
Chers diplômés de l'Université Laurentienne 2019-2020, je joins ma voix à celle de tous mes collègues pour vous féliciter. Vous féliciter car vous avez accompli beaucoup de choses durant une période difficile de pandémie Covid-19. Chers étudiants de l'École des sciences et de l'éducation, vous avez acquis des connaissances et développé des compétences professionnelles en enseignement. Nous espérons que vous mettrez à profit votre connaissance du monde et votre compréhension au service de la communauté franco-ontarienne et de notre société en général. Bienvenue dans la famille des anciens de l'Université Laurentienne. Merci.
Bonjour, je suis Tommy Ligotti et j'ai gradué avec un baccalauréat en sociologie en 2019. Félicitations sur votre réussite, vous avez travaillé fort pour y rendre. La Laurentienne vous manquerait, mais comme ancienne, vous serez toujours membre de la communauté.
Chers finissants et finissantes de l'Université Laurentienne, je suis Valérie Raymond du département d'études françaises et j'aimerais vous féliciter bien sincèrement de tout votre travail, votre dévouement et votre persévérance. Vous avez fait de grands efforts pour terminer vos études et cela pendant une pandémie mondiale. Bravo!
J'aimerais offrir toutes mes félicitations à vous, les finissantes et finissants de l'Université Laurentienne de l'année 2020. Je suis certain que vous allez atteindre un énorme succès malgré toutes les difficultés que vous avez eues dans cette année. Continuez à être les personnes émerveillantes que vous êtes. Vous verrez que tout ira bien par la fin.
Je m'appelle Krista Potter et j'ai obtenu mon baccalauréat en droit et justice en 2018. Je suis maintenant une étudiante à la Faculté de droit de l'Université de Moncton au Nouveau-Brunswick. Je serai en mesure d'obtenir mon JD en 2021. J'aimerais féliciter les finissants et finissantes de la classe de 2020 de l'Université Laurentienne. Je vous souhaite un bon succès dans vos projets futurs. Un petit mot d'encouragement. Essayez de garder plusieurs portes ouvertes et ne vous limitez pas à ce que vous avez le pouvoir d'accomplir. Vous avez accompli qu'un chapitre de votre aventure, donc continuez à être curieux et déterminé. Bon succès et bonne santé à vous tous. Félicitations.
I must thank Laurentian for giving me 3 key gifts to enjoy working. Number 1, reliability. People can count on us. Number 2, intellectual curiosity. Learning every day. Number 3, pride in our roots. Knowing and respecting where we come from. And now, graduates 2020, it's your turn. Your turn to thank Laurentian for the gifts and for giving back every day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. My wishes of good luck are with you for every tomorrow to come.
Hello everyone, and congratulations to all the Bachelor of Education graduates, now teachers. And hello to all family and friends that are watching. My name is Carolyn Krang, and I've had the great pleasure of teaching these students over the past 5 years. It's too bad it had to end this way, and so I'm really glad that we had the opportunity to make these videos so we can tell you what great children and students this group is. When they came in 5 years ago, it sure didn't look like we'd have an end like this. These students have persevered through online placements and the math proficiency test and work to rule in schools. And throughout the whole thing, they've maintained a positive attitude, they've kept learning, and they've wowed their students and placement teachers that they were working with. So it's been a really interesting year for everybody, but I'm sure you've learned a lot. It's sad that we can't spend graduations together, because it's a great time to get to meet family and friends and to get to talk about what great students you are. And it's been a real pleasure to have taught you and to get to know you and to get to know your strengths and what great people you've become.
Ani, bonjour, and hello graduating class of 2020. I want to say that you folks, 2020, you are the most resilient, the most fearless, and the most brave graduates. This has been quite the year, folks. It's been extraordinary. But I want to say to you from the absolute entirety of my spirit, merci, miigwech, and thank you. Thank you for choosing Laurentian to be your educational choice, for staying with us and graduating with us. You folks truly are the most awesome, the most beautiful, the most caring, the most daring, the most exceptional, fantabulous graduates ever. And Con Ed Peepsters, you keep doing what you're doing because you rock.
Hello graduates et bienvenue à ces collations des grades. Je m'appelle Steve Paikin. Je suis le chancelier de l'Université de Laurentienne, and it is my job normally to preside over Convocation. Normally, I would be in the middle of this wonderfully appointed stage. There would be a big, gorgeous chair for me to sit in. Looks like something right out of the Game of Thrones. It really is a big, beautiful chair. But instead, I'm sitting here in my attic where we do the agenda every night. I'm getting to know this attic extremely well. And I've got the hat on, I've got the gown on. We're trying to make this look as much like the Convocation experience as possible. You know, one of the great things about Convocation is that I've had a chance over the 7 years that I've had this role at Laurentian University just to meet thousands and thousands of students. It's really a wonderful thing. And typically, you know, the student graduates come up on stage, we shake hands, we have a little conversation with the president. I get to know your plans. Some of you are planning to come back for graduate school. Others are going to graduate and go into a job. Others still are going to do some traveling or start a family. Many of you come from all over the world. It's really a wonderful thing, and we get a very good sense about what people's plans are and what they intend to do next in life. One of the nice things about it for me was I never went into a convocation with a speech prepared, because my speech was essentially going to be all of the interesting stories that I heard from the students, and I would share some of those stories and then write a speech on the fly based on those interactions with the students. Well, that's going to be a little tough to do this time because, of course, I'm having no conversations with any students, and so I have had to jot some notes down and give the kind of speech that I really haven't done before, but let's give it a shot here. I really just have one, I think, overarching message to leave with you today. Obviously, these are very different times in which you folks are graduating. So in some respects, you don't just have the regular mission to get your show on the road, which is, of course, what everybody wants to do after they graduate. They want to get their own personal mission underway. I think you have a bigger mission as well, given the times in which we live. And that message, frankly, is repairing the world. Our world is in trouble right now. And we are going to need leaders in every imaginable field in order to take on the endeavor of repairing this world. I think of, when I graduated almost 40 years ago from university with an arts degree, general arts degree, and just thinking all the great ideas I had learned about at university. And those of you who are graduating today with arts degrees, we need all your ideas as well. We need your brains, your smartness for fixing this world. I look at all the science and engineering and architecture graduates and think, wow, you've got your work cut out for you. Think about how you're going to be redesigning our world going forward in a world of COVID-19, where very little is going to be the same as it once was. Those of you graduating in the health field, well, my goodness, isn't your work cut out for you? I mean, it's all about health these days. It's all about keeping the population healthy. So your mission is going to be crystal clear. Same with those of you graduating in the field of education. I do wonder what kind of a school year we're going to be having going forward. Certainly, it's going to require a great deal of reimagination, and it's going to be incumbent upon all you education grads to try to reimagine the future. I've always thought NOSM was awesome, but you guys are going to have to be even more awesome now. All of you new doctors, all of you new people who are going to be working in the field of healthcare, so important to keep your friends, your family, your population, your community as healthy as possible. And those of you graduating in the Faculty of Management, well, my goodness, management is going to be turned on its ear going forward. The skills that managers are going to have going forward are just going to be different in many ways from everything we've had in the past. You're going to be juggling a whole new set of challenges, and I'm anxious to find out how you're all going to be handling these. It's an odd time to be graduating from university, but let me also say that it's a great time to be graduating. Think of the impact that you can have right now. Never, never in our lifetimes has the world, or let's get smaller, even your own hometown, more desperately needed you to get out there and help solve all of the problems and have that impact on your world or your community that we need you to have right now. And I think actually you're just the group to go get this done. I am sorry that I'm not going to get a chance to shake hands with each and every one of you as I normally would do and say well done and congratulations. But perhaps down the road, if and when things get back to a little more normal, we can do a fist bump or a bow, or I can at least say, congratulations, everybody, job well done, and best of luck. Well, usually I end my speech, and I've done this dozens and dozens of times, so you think I know it off by heart, but I don't actually. But we make it all official, and usually what I do is I ask the graduating class to please rise, and I say, through the powers vested in me by the Board of Governors and the Senate of the university, I proclaim that you are the rights and holders of your respective degrees. Félicitations, congratulations. Now go out there and fix the world.
Graduates, chers diplômés, bonjour, hello, Annie. Je m'appelle Joanne Bénard, and I'm truly honored to have this opportunity to address all of you on such an important day. It feels like yesterday, but in 1988, I was like you, graduating and ready to begin my journey into teaching. I was so excited to have my first class, to be called Madame Bénard, to finally have a job. I knew it would be a great career choice for me, but I did not realize how amazing it would be. So much has changed since 1988. Imagine, I began teaching before computers or cell phones. But what has not changed in all of my years in education, as a teacher, principal, supervisory officer, and currently as Director of Education, is the incredible opportunity we are given to make a difference. The concept of difference maker might be overused, but in education it is absolutely true. You have the power to influence, to inspire, to help someone discover their gifts, to help them become a teacher, a carpenter, a lawyer, a nurse, and the list goes on. After 32 years in education, I continue to be humbled by the role that we play and the influence we have on helping to create the conditions for our young people to grow. I'd like to share what I've learned along the way. I think the most important lesson is that we are our greatest tool. While up-to-date technology and the latest in instructional practices make a difference, who you are as a person and how you treat others is what really matters. Your students may not remember that amazing lesson you taught them in grade 5, but what they will remember is who you are and how you treated them. That means that you need to take care of yourself. You need to be flexible, be kind, and always maintain an open to learning stance. Your commitment to the success of students needs to be unwavering. You should not be afraid to try new things, to fail on occasion, we all do, and always remember the tremendous influence that you have. That's what I hope for you. While the bar is raised very high as to what we expect from our teachers, remember that as an alumni of this university, you have been very well prepared to move into this next phase of your lives. As Director of Education, I know firsthand the quality of the graduates from this program, as they're in our classrooms and in our board office. On behalf of the Laurentian University Alumni Association, I would like to welcome all of you to our growing family of graduates. Regardless of where your journey takes you next, whether that is postgraduate studies, traveling, or teaching, keep us on your email list, join a chapter, read our alumni magazine. Let us know how you're doing and come back to visit us once in a while. It's like leaving home. Even when you're gone, there's a part of you that will stay at LU. And like your family, we will always be glad to see you again and again and again. You all have so much to be proud of. I do wish you much continued success, and I hope many of you will find your way into our classrooms. Bonne chance tout le monde, et encore une fois, félicitations. Merci, thank you, miigwech.
Annie, bonjour, quoi. Je me nomme Serge Demers et je suis le vice-recteur intérimaire aux études à l'Université Laurentienne. My name is Serge Demers. I'm the interim vice president, academic and provost at Laurentian University. Before this role, I was a registrar, and in that role, I've seen thousands of students proudly walk on the stage at the Fraser Auditorium and pick up their diploma with proud parents, family, and friends taking pictures, their own paparazzi. C'est toujours un moment spécial, un moment qui confirme que l'individu a fait de nombreux sacrifices pendant une année, pendant 2 années, ou peut-être même pendant 15 années, afin d'atteindre son but, obtenir son premier grade universitaire, ou obtenir un second grade universitaire, ou éventuellement culminer par un doctorat, le plus haut grade que l'Université Laurentienne peut octroyer. Before, it was my fun to look at the shoes that graduates wore to come to get their diplomas. Were they nice black formal men's shoes, sleek high heels, running shoes, sandals, and for the midwifery grads, the traditional red shoes of any form. I may have only met a handful of you during your stay at Laurentian, but that does not make it less important for me to recognize the efforts you've made to get yourselves onto the finish line. And this year, the finish line was probably a little blurrier than you could have imagined. Avant, le parcours était net. Pas simple, mais net et connu. On débute ses études, on va en classe, on écrit nos tests et nos examens, on s'inscrit ensuite au prochain cours dans la séquence et finalement, éventuellement, on se rend à la ligne d'arrivée. But this year, March 11th came, and it was not a March 11th like any other one before at Laurentian. We temporarily suspended face-to-face instruction on campus and pivoted to a remote delivery. For some, that meant packing up their bags and leaving for home, possibly returning to campus when it was deemed safe to do so. Pour d'autres, c'était la préoccupation de terminer un stage ou un projet alors que l'accès au campus n'était pas possible. Le corps professoral, le personnel de soutien ainsi que les étudiants ont fait des efforts incroyables pour s'ajuster et tant bien que mal dans certains cas, parvenir à transformer une situation difficile en une opportunité. Je suis très fier de toute la communauté universitaire qui s'est ralliée pour faire en sorte que ce semestre puisse se terminer. Et depuis, on continue de pousser et avancer en offrant des cours et des laboratoires à distance. The Wright brothers flyer was the first successful heavier-than-air aircraft powered and controlled by a pilot. It flew 4 times on December 17, 1903, near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And although the distance traveled, a mere 40 meters, was modest, it was actually a proof in concept. Before that day, no one would have suspected that humans could fly. Only dreamers did, or mythological figures like Icarus. Today, or rather earlier in 2020, and depending on the sources you believe, about 500,000 individuals were in the air at any given instant. No one before December 17, 1903 could have fathomed that kind of revolution. Le vol est maintenant aussi normal que de conduire sa bicyclette pour faire des courses. Une partie de votre vie sera maintenant identifiée comme avant, et ce, de la même façon que d'autres avant nous l'ont fait. Avant la guerre mondiale, avant le 11 septembre, avant le vol des frères Wright, avant le web. The word before will bring a lot of meaning to you. But that being said, given that there is a before, there is by definition an after. After the war, after 9/11, after the Wright brothers' flight. But the after is not going to look the same as the before. It has to be that way, or else there would not be a need to speak of a before. You will no longer take an airplane in the same way as you have in the past. You will not see the importance of social contact in the same way as you have, given that you have lived this social distancing and confinement of the past few weeks. Vous avez fait des sacrifices pour réussir avant cet événement, et vous continuerez d'en faire pour réussir à vous tailler une place dans le monde, un monde qui paraîtra peut-être un peu moins normal qu'avant. Il est clair qu'avec un avant et un après, il y a un pendant. Et ce pendant est probablement ce qui est le plus déstabilisant. The during period is where we have to make greatest adjustments. It brings the most instability. For many decades, we've celebrated the achievements of our graduating class in the same formal way, with pomp, with circumstance, and with a series of Latin terms to make the experience that more special. We want the experience to be distinct, unmistakable, and linked to countless ceremonies of before. Peu importe le nombre de cérémonies auxquelles j'ai assisté, le moment a toujours été spécial. Et bien que cette cérémonie, pendant la crise de la COVID, est différente, elle est tout aussi spéciale, distincte et liée à de nouvelles façons de voir des cérémonies qu'avant. Bien que vous entriez un monde très différent de celui auquel vous vous attendiez quelques mois passés, le monde a besoin de vous. The world needs you. I leave you with the following notion, that nothing in life is better than being needed. Sur ce, je vous souhaite félicitations et succès dans vos carrières futures. I wish you all the best from myself at Laurentian University, my fellow deans, and the entire complement of faculty members who made your journey possible. Congratulations. I trust that you will remember with pride your time spent at Laurentian University as you go about changing the world. Welcome to the proud family of alumni. Bienvenue au monde des anciens et des anciennes de la Laurentienne.